Welcome, I'll be reacting to The Stunt Man. I don't know too much about this film other than it came highly recommended. This is not a market substitute, support the original. It is a little bit difficult to find. I ended up having to buy it.
What's your point of view?
That sounds like Peter. There are a lot of dogs in this film. It's an interesting camera style so far. It's handheld but not shaky. It's very deliberate. Good idea. What a gorgeous tree. Beautiful locations so far.
Son of a bitch, get out!
Ooh. What is this guy's deal? The sound design in this film is just spectacular so far. It's pretty good. Ooh. It's like a free movie. Oh. Oh, that was good. It totally had me.
You gave everybody a heart attack.
Eli, I hate it. He said he wanted a shot and won, right?
This character seems like a veteran to me. Be careful, that's really wet rocks. Oh.
I've seen you on TV. You're
Nina Friedland.
You gotta be crazy to cover a face like yours.
How did you get out of the car? He didn't get out of the car. He couldn't get out of a paper bag. The divers took him out of the car and brought him here in the chopper.
When these 3 days are up, I'm going to arm my men with shotguns and tell them that it's open season on any fruit carrying a camera. You get my drift, Cross?
But you would think all these actors and crew members spending money would help the economy, so wouldn't he want to be helping them? Maybe it's because they film a lot of movies in my area. We're just kind of used to it. So this seems odd.
Bert is a bloody tragedy, but there's nothing I can do about it. Nothing. That door is the looking glass. And inside it is Wonderland. Have faith, Alice. Close your eyes and enjoy.
Does that make Peter the White Rabbit?
The bomb was dropped on you by a man from your own squadron. All right?
Ooh.
And the fingers move. And then the hand turns.
I got out of Nam in one piece. That's a hell of a stunt.
Yeah, he seemed like a veteran to me. Training time. Nice.
Very fancy.
Eli's doing a World War I film without horses. You know the stunts I could do with 4 runaway horses pulling a case on? Next time, hit me higher.
It's true, though. There should be horses. Like Angel Island in San Francisco Bay basically had mules and horses until the 1920s when George Gatling paved some of the roads and brought a few cars over. So during World War I, they mostly relied on mules and some horses. I also own manuals from the Great War, and a lot of it had to do with horses. So it is strange that he's doing a film without them.
All they care about is story.
Tell us, how did you like Vietnam?
How'd you like the plague?
No, I'm not finished. Everybody wants to take things away from me. You want to take my scene away, you want to take my food. You got another scene. I'll write you another scene.
I feel for the writer.
What would you say if the studio said your daughter Jennifer would look better with her fingers chopped off?
Being an insecure writer, I'd call my agent and get a second opinion.
He's not wrong. Wonderland. Will you go back down the rabbit hole?
You gonna rescue the maiden from the tower?
Aye.
You are scared, aren't you?
And hit 2!
Oh, great.
Be at the airport at 3 p.m. on Sunday with the rest of the crew and then fly with us to where the setting sun bleeds into a million swimming pools a man can hide in. You do swim as well as...
It's certainly an exciting scene. Hopefully they're paying the hotel a lot. Ooh, ow. Was that deliberate? Oh. Oh.
Don't stand there, go!
Whoa. This poor building. Ah. Oh, they were shooting day for night. Hold on. Remember, this was your idea.
How is it, Kate? Fan-fucking-tastic!
Oh, good. It's going to be an exciting scene in the theater.
Starting to panic. Will you, for Christ's sake, tell me why?
An idea, maybe, huh? Instead of the flowers, what if she brought him something more intimate? Something from their lives together, huh? Of their sexuality.
Welcome to the same picture, sir.
What should I congratulate you for? For the fucking scene? Or for fucking the director?
I must inform you that you are an asshole. They met 3 years ago. Two lonely people rattling around New York. They went to bed once. They were lousy as lovers. Was she supposed to be a virgin? I had a virgin once. I had to go to Guatemala for it. She was blind in one eye, and she had a stuffed alligator that said, "Welcome to Miami Beach."
Movies like this, making fun of people who just never got around to having an intimate experience, is one of the reasons a lot more people than you think haven't had one, because there's a stigma attached to it. It is a strange combination of being special, but also being looked down on and being made fun of like they just did. And I don't think that the writer even realized what they were doing. Some of the jokes actually are mildly amusing, like, oh, I could jump into a volcano and save the world. But most of the time like this, it just feels like I'm less than, you know? I really wish movies would step up and stop doing this. The new Charmed, for the most part, I don't like it. There is one thing that they did which I adore, and that is one of the characters is quite old, and she hid the fact that she hadn't had an intimate experience, and as a result, one of the monsters ends up coming after her. But it warmed my heart to see a depiction of someone like me,
The demon's far too powerful. All that'll do is freeze your friends and make them easier prey.
Then what are we supposed to do? When you want to lure a shark, you don't use live bait. You chum the water.
Great. But where are we gonna get our hands on virgin blood?
Right here.
So thank you, New Charmed. You did what this film did not.
When Bert went in the water, I could see from up there in the chopper something was wrong. So I stopped shooting. And this crazy man gets me by the throat and starts hollering to roll the film. I mean, there's a man down there dying.
They just watched him?
You're beginning to scare me. Did you know that Eli almost strangled a man because he stopped the camera when Bert got killed? That the man is crazy. If he had his way, there wouldn't be a soldier left alive by morning.
I can't tell if he's being paranoid or he's right, because Peter's character is a little suspicious. I like that about this film. It keeps you guessing. You don't know what's real, what's not real, what could happen, what couldn't. It really gets in your head.
Any number of people are trying to harm him.
It's interesting because in this scene, they put her in a dress that, while it's contemporary for when this movie was shot, also has the lines and the style of a World War I dress. They loved the kind of sailor look. She even has the scarf knotted in the same general way. I'm not sure if the costume designer did that deliberately, meshing her two characters together, but it's very effective.
Of course, I didn't know if I was killing gooks or cherries. And I guess I expected something. Free car wash. Double blue chip stamps. But instead, they looked at me like I was gonna start killing babies or something.
I'm sorry, I'm a little crazy myself.
Does it seem like a good idea to twist his head off?
Because he has PTSD.
Instead of gonna be his partner when I came back. Fudge plot, and I went running across the goddamn room. Hey, you motherfucker! Masters around!
This ties back to the theme of fighting windmills that's been brought up multiple times. What do you do when you come back from the war? It's interesting that this movie is kind of about what the movie that they're making is about, and it all ties together.
Strawberry snatch!
This flashlight has started shining me in the face. So I grabbed this ice cream bucket and I slopped it right on the guy's head.
Sorry.
His ear froze. His nose froze. And his ear froze. Oh. Yes. Hey, what happened? A fucking rewrite. What happened?
Here. In here. Right in here. See?
I feel like she's still in there. But they would have noticed because she had 2 more scenes, right?
These guns are kind of modern for World War I.
Those better be blanks.
Don't say so on the box.
Be careful. They're gonna blow something and he'll fall anyway. Nina. Get out of there. Roll the windows down. Remember what they told you. You need to equalize the pressure. Hurry.
They found me 5 minutes after you left. I felt ridiculous.
Okay. It's okay.
And then Eli told me you changed your mind and decided to do the stunt. And I'm so glad you two made up.
About that. You know, if she had gone slowly and lifted up her dress, she would have been fine. I've worked with the costume department in some degree since I was a child in theater, so things like drinking Pepsi while you're in costume or running through the mud instead of carefully walking through, it just... actors.
I know a man who made an anti-war movie. A good one. When it was shown in his hometown, army enlistment went up 600%. I'm trying to convince the world with my movie there is a reasonable and better way of getting home for Thanksgiving. $1,000? What $1,000?
The stunt.
Stunt pays $650.
Try not to miss the airplane, Babs! He better not, Eli, and I'm serious. If I find any of your men within city limits tonight, I'm gonna shoot them on sight. I'll be on that goddamn plane!
That whole film was just a bit mad, like Alice in Wonderland. So it's kind of appropriate that I did this one right after Alice. Every single character is in their own world to a certain degree, and this had such an artistic feel to it. It almost took me out of it at times because I kept wanting to pause to look at how the scenes were structured. What was in the foreground, what was in the background, how they had angled it, the lighting. So in a way, it was almost too well done, if that makes any sense, because I was so busy admiring the cinematography that I kept getting pulled out of the film itself. But that's okay, maybe that was part of the point. Obviously, it is an anti-war film, which ironically contained some pretty good battle scenes in it. And although it definitely touched on PTSD throughout, it didn't do so in a really heavy-handed way. It just kind of showed us the results rather than preaching, which I think was very effective. The fact that Peter O'Toole's character was the one that was trying to do this great piece of art and was actually kind of a horrible human being. And instead having the main character as the one kind of fighting him on it, but also being the person who ultimately made the biggest point about war being horrible. I don't know, it was so interesting. The way it was framed and constantly kept you guessing, very psychological, despite all the explosions almost making it an action film. This almost felt like a brilliant film student made it in their senior year, when they had all the time in the world to just make the perfect film that they really, really wanted to make, before Hollywood producers started telling them what to do. Like, it doesn't have that I'm trying to make money gloss to it that a lot of movies have. It's like that was stripped away, and this is more authentic to the filmmaker's vision. It's hard to explain. It's like the director was given carte blanche. Now, I don't know if they were or not, but that's the vibe that this film gives off. And a lot of times you can tell when a movie has had too many people trying to manipulate it, too many cooks in the kitchen. A lot of the DC movies have that problem. But this had such a clear vision from beginning to end that I think that's the main reason that it works. And obviously the brilliant cast. My only objection was the characters in it have very heightened emotions, and I realized that it was probably part of the story, but it felt a little bit Romeo and Juliet-esque to me, of they've known each other a couple of days and they're just so melodramatic. If I've known someone 3 days, I can probably barely remember their name. I would definitely not be upset if they left town. I wouldn't be running through mud. I'm sorry. So it felt a little bit like a Disney film where the princess has met the prince for like 10 minutes and they go off to get married and you're like, what? That makes no sense. So I have very mixed feelings coming out of this film. I think it was very well done, but it just kept pulling me out of it for various reasons. Sometimes technical and sometimes just, really? People don't act like that. But of course, it's, as I said, it's a heightened style. It's just, I found it distracting. I could, however, see this film being shown in a filmmaking class as a demonstration of brilliant cinematography.